Okay, so let's turn on that bilge blower. We're going to allow 5 minutes time lapse to evacuate the bilge from any gas fumes. I was just down there, smelled clean, don't smell any gas fumes, should be fine, but always better to be safe than sorry. Okay, we've had our bilge blower on for 5 minutes. Let's go ahead and start that engine. We're going to let it warm up and come up to temperature before we extract the oil from the crankcase. Hello and welcome back. Today we're doing an oil change on the 454s on a Carver 406. We've already evacuated the bilge for any gas fumes. We've started the engines. We've brought them up to temperature, turned them off, and here we are. As always, I have my tools out and everything that I'll need for this project. Got my oil filters. I've validated that the part number is correct. My oil filter wrenches, some funnels, a drip pan or catch pan, and some hand rags. And of course, I've lined the engine compartment with towels all around just to make sure that I don't make a mess. Here we are. So the first thing we're going to do is pull the oil out of this engine. Pull the dipstick out, wipe it down, set it up here out of the way. We already have our oil change kit hooked up to power. We'll stick that down until we feel it hit the bottom. We'll turn it on. And you'll see that engine oil start to come out. Remember, the warmer you get your oil, the easier it will come out. And the faster it will come out, and you can get done quicker. Let's wait for this to finish up, and we'll be right back. Okay, as you get toward the end of the oil, you'll hear the pitch of the motor change. You'll hear some gurgling in the tubing. You're getting toward the very bottom of the oil. Allow that to go just a little bit longer. Don't be impatient. Get out as much of the old oil as possible. We got the oil out of the engine, and we are now prepared to remove the filter, replace the filter, place our dipstick back in, and last put in some fresh oil and then start the engines. So let's go ahead and get that done. I'll pull this tube out. Be careful because you're going to have a little bit of oil on the end that's still stuck in the tube. You can stick that in the open top here so it doesn't drip all over your boat. And we'll push that out of our way. Going to return our dipstick. Going to get our oil filter wrench. Now, this could be a little messy, so I'm going to put a towel down on top of the engine because it goes right on the manifold. It's a little warm, but don't want any oil hanging around on there and ending up smelling up the engine compartment with oil. So just push this right off. Okay, once you get it started, I'm going to wrap a towel around it. So as I do leak a little bit of oil, it's only going to get on my towels. And there it comes. There it is. Drop that in our oil pan down here, out of the way, and the rag. get us a fresh rag, stick down on there for any extra drips. We're going to take some oil, rub it around the ring. Doesn't take much, just enough to lubricate it. And you'll see a little sheen all the way around, and you're good. We're going to put that right back on. Unlike the other filters, you're just going to hand tighten those. There's no reason to go any further than that. Wipe down any excess oil, because as that heats up on your exhaust manifold, it will smell like burnt oil. What we'll do next is put some oil in here. We're going to remove the oil cap, which is on top of the valve cover toward the front. Place it over here. We're going to use a fat funnel on this one and hope that I don't make a mess going in there. This particular engine takes 7 quarts, so we're going to dump a 4 quart in first. Make sure your funnel's in place. And we're going to use 3 small ones in addition to that 4 quart, which will give us our 7 quarts. Keep in mind when you check your oil after you're done, you still have not filled up the filter. So it may read a little bit high as you get started, and then once you start the engine, you'll observe the oil pressure go up. That way you know that it's actually pumping the oil. But then when you recheck it, it may be a little lower than when you first check it because you have to fill that filter. We're only going to go about 1/2 quart, so 6.5 quarts for our initial check. Wipe up as we go. So we've got 1/2 quart less right now than what we anticipate we'll need, but after we fill the filter, after starting the engine, we'll come back, check it, and add as needed. Remove our funnel. It will drip oil, so put a rag under it. Put your valve cover cap back on and dump all your stuff in your oil pan so it's out of your way. We're going to go ahead and do a quick check on the oil. Yep, you can see it, it's almost on the add there. Maybe a little bit above. Okay, so let's turn on that bilge blower. We're going to allow 5 minutes time lapse to evacuate the bilge from any gas fumes. I was just down there. Okay, let's check that oil again. Make sure your dipstick goes all the way down in there, hasn't hung up on the edge. Just almost on the edge. So we're going to go ahead and put the rest of that cord in. Remove our cap again. Replace our cap. We'll give that a second. I think we look good. That's all there is to changing the oil in a Mercruiser 454. This one's an L29. Not a lot to it, just like a car. They're big engines down in the hull. Just take your time. Again, these are tasks and techniques that have worked for me for almost 22 years now in having multiple boats year over year. I do all my own maintenance. I save a few bucks. That, and I'm more familiar with my boat. When something goes wrong, I'm more inclined to pick up on that and understand it. At any rate, hope you enjoyed it. Hope you're having a great day and happy boating. See ya.